there. Yep. That's the bait. Both on from the net. Yeah. That.
Bags in there, 2 fishing rods each.
What I'm going to need this tonight if he's going to be
We are going to be going down to Cleveland, hopefully get some sharks and possibly some catfish or other fish species, but mainly aiming to get some sharks. So where we're going, there's some black tip sharks, some bull sharks, you get sort of like bamboo sharks as well, which we've got one in the tank back at Lawson's house. So plenty of species, so hopefully we'll get a few.
Welcome to the office. Please place your order when you're ready.
Well, I have never caught a bull shark,
Right.
and that is my dream of many, many years. So hopefully we might be able to get one. We had a nervous whaler probably 2 months ago now. They look very, very identical to a bull shark. There's only one way to really tell them apart when they're younger, and we didn't get the correct identification photos. So chances are it's a bronze whaler and not a bull shark, but that's ideally what I would love to catch. That's been my dream many, many years.
How common is it to find bull sharks where we're going fishing?
Where we're going, not that common, but they are there. So pretty much any kind of canal, estuary, river sort of system they can get into when they're like first born, they will, because they'll basically live in there, eat lots of little fish, grow, and then they'll go back out to sea, or sometimes stay in the river systems. So we've been going to the Logan River a lot, which is, they're just filled with bull sharks, but we're going to try this spot down Cleveland and just see if we can get something. But ideally that would be the perfect fish to catch.
2, 1, action.
Hello, welcome to our channel. We're Tide Runners. I'm Lawson.
I'm Steve.
And we're hoping with this channel that we can show you some of our fishing adventures and some of the really awesome marine life that we find. Where we're located is actually Raby Bay at Cleveland in Queensland. And tonight we're actually out fishing in the Raby Bay canal systems. The weather tonight is not the best. We have had the cyclone out off the coast here, well, ex-cyclone Seth. So the swells are quite large, the winds are quite high, and there's a lot of rain. But tonight the water is actually quite calm, and hopefully it'll be a good night's fishing. So
Yep, and we're still out here, so
yeah, that's
main
it.
thing.
It's the main thing. You know, we're trying to help educate people on marine life, making sure that you pick your rubbish up when you finish fishing, even if it's not yours. Just every little bit helps. You know, like keep the environment clean. Don't destroy what you come to enjoy.
We saved a little sea turtle the other week because it was covered in fishing lines, struggling in the rocks, so we took that off, got it back in the water, and away it went.
Yeah, that was a good save. That was a really good save. So our purpose mainly here tonight too is also that we're both actually aquarium keepers. We're right into our marine fish, mainly our marine predatory fish like sharks, stingrays, moray eels, octopus. But also we do like our clownfish and our prettier aquarium fish, and you will see footage on the YouTube channel of our own personal fish at home, doing tank maintenance, tank and feeding care of the fish, and just basic chit chat about our aquariums and our fishing life. So we hope that you guys enjoy the content. Please like and subscribe. We would absolutely really appreciate any support you can give us. And yeah,
And you guys
Hopefully we catch a fish.
hopefully we catch some fish. Stay tuned. So we put the bells on just so if we're away from the rod, like it's very windy, sometimes you're not going to hear your line going off. So if we're getting bites, we should hear that. But also too, with the glow stick, it gives you a visual indication if you can see your rod if it's getting hit or not. So come in handy. A lot of people laugh at us for using bells and illumination sticks, but when you're out fishing and you've got 4 or 5 rods set up, you kind of need to be able to monitor them all at once, and this is the best way that we've found of doing it.
Like my rod's all the way up the top there. We can still see the tip, so any movement we're going to be able to see that and get up there.
That's it. Obviously there's no audible alert for that rod up there because there's no bell on that one, so we just have to periodically look up there and watch for the rod movement. But this one, because we're going to put out a couple more rods soon down this way, so hopefully yeah, it'll do all right tonight, and yeah, hopefully we can tune back in and show you some fish or sharks. Till then, let's enjoy our coffee. Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm going to send this one out this way, bud. Bit of mullet fillet there too. Can use that a bit later as well. The thing is with marine fish, saltwater fish, sharks, stingrays, moray eels, it's like, the best way to probably describe it so a lot of people can understand it is food is food to humans. So if you smell McDonald's, you know it's Macca's. You can just tell by that horrid smell that, oh, that's Macca's. And then you get a nice pasta dish and you can be like, oh, it's ravioli or something like that. Like, it's the same with bait. So mullet has a unique smell and a unique taste. Squid, again, it's a cephalopod, so it's in the octopus and cuttlefish family. It too has a unique smell and a unique taste. And prawns give off an extremely high odour in the water, which I've found very, very common with the moray eels down the Gold Coast when I'm hunting for them in the rocks. I notice when I use prawn heads as like a bait, like a burley, I guess, I put the prawn heads in a bag and I just hold it in the water for 3 to 5 minutes, and if there's any moray eels within a 3 metre range, they just come swarming in because they can smell it, and they're ravenously hungry. Their feeding behaviour is quite aggressive, so yeah, the baits definitely play a big role. This is our first time tonight actually using what they call pike as bait. I'll grab one out and show you. So that's a pike. You do actually catch these here in the harbour canals, but these were purchased from Mossop's Bait and Tackle. They are very similar to barracuda, as you can have a look. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. They've got massive big sharp teeth like a barracuda, so they are a predatory type of fish, and you will actually catch these in here. We might even catch a couple tonight, but we're using them for bait tonight.
And it's good as well to use local bait because the fish are used to going for them. That's a prime example of what we shouldn't be doing on fishing nights.
That's exactly right, but unfortunately we have people to answer to at home, and we have to let them know that we're safe. Personally, I'd like to do this with the phone.
Steve, what are we looking for?
We're looking for little bait fish at the moment.
Why?
Because that's a good activity of what's in the water. See those? See the little...
Make sure you beep that out.
There was actually a couple of little fish
there's
there.
heaps of them there, look.
Yeah. See, there you go.
No, they're squids, bro.
Mhm.
They're squids.
Yeah. Shame we don't have a little squid jig.
We have a net, but I don't think we're going to reach them.
Maybe they're coming towards us. And they just divert. Yeah, you got some.
Oh, I got
Yeah, you
some.
did.
Look at that.
Yep.
I got 3 of them. Awesome. How cool are they? Hey. Now, I'm not 100% positive on the identification of this specific species, but I'm pretty sure these are juvenile arrowhead squids. These are actually really cute little fellas. They change their colours dramatically in the skin. If you have a close look, you'll see the black dots are actually rapidly changing on his body. And that's from the chromatophores in their skin, can rapidly change to their environment. And that squirt noise you can hear is them trying to pump water through their body. So these guys would make excellent live bait as well. So we might keep that bigger one for live bait. Steve, do you want to put that one on your...
I'll put that one out right
You
now.
put that one out and we'll let the 2 little ones go. That one's for you, and we'll let these little dudes go. Alright, little fellas. See ya. See him inking?
Yep.
That's cool. All that ink comes out of that little fella. You gotta let go of the net, bud. Oh, look, he's got his little arms out.
Still winking. So that's why we have a little look here and there, because we might find little live bait.
Like that.
And it shows us good activity in the water as well, so we know there's fish around. And where there's little fish, there might be some big ones chasing them.
It's amazing how much ink comes out of that little tiny squid. All that ink come out of that little guy there up there. Utterly amazing. So the name Tide Runners for us is very symbolic because depending what we're actually wanting to do, so we don't just do land-based fishing, so we do diving, snorkeling, a lot of underwater stuff for filming and that as well. There's some tidal flats out around the Moreton Bay area that we like to go and visit at night when the tide is right. So if we're going to the tidal flats, we need a low tide or an outgoing tide. So otherwise you're going to be up to here in water and we're going to be shark food, aren't you? So ideally you want a low tide so it's knee deep and lower, so you can be spotlighting the shallows and you'll find wobbegong sharks, blue ringed octopus, you'll find heaps of cool stuff out there. But then if we want to go land-based fishing like we are tonight and we want to chase sharks, ideally you want an incoming tide, so the water levels are getting higher and higher and higher and the sharks are coming in with the tide because they follow the tide. So it made sense to call ourselves Tide Runners because no matter what fishing activity we want to do, we're always running after the tide. You either need a low tide or you need a high tide. Unfortunately they're not on a set time limit, so yeah, we're always running after it, aren't we, Steve?
Yeah, we are indeed.
So that's where Tide Runners came from. Turn. Get the net, brother. Oh, look at this monster. Go for the tail, go for the tail. Look out, I'm pulling him up. Come down. Woo! Ik ben snappy. Alrighty. These guys are what they call a pike eel. And they get a lot bigger than this, believe it or not. You got that, bro? Yeah. Now, we're going to try and restrain his jaws. I'm all tethered around up here. I'll have to deal with that in a minute. Yeah, that's not what we want to happen. So, keep him out of that way, bro. Alright, so these guys have a massive set of jaws, as you can see. Top jaw, bottom jaw. Bottom. Okay. Right, need some pliers, please, sir. Come and get a close up of those chompy bits. If that gets a hold of you, that is stitches waiting to happen. Right through the bottom of the mallet jaw. Just spat that clean out of its head. Lip grips do not hold the jaw. Oh, I just nailed that. That would have hurt if that was my fingers. Woo! Watch your hand, bro. Put the light on so you can see. Curl it out, curl it out, curl it out. Here we go. Look out. Oh, she's free. Man, she just, just nailed your rod. Okay, well, we need to try and somehow secure this before we lose a finger. We'll let him go over here. Alright, good to go, Jack?
Yep.
Big silver serpents swimming off. Woo!
First big catch of the night.
Yeah, well, they're a bit of a handful to deal with because if they get a hold of you, that jaw, like, there's no if, buts, or maybe about that. Like, you're going to be getting stitches. Like, oh, I've seen some horrible injuries from them. They make great shark bait, but you know, it's unfortunate about damaging his jaw. Like, unfortunately, they're a very hard animal to restrain safely. But hey, we caught something. First animal. Woo! You're going to have to keep yanking on it. It took off running pretty hard. Yep. Get your line back? Yeah. I'll leave the net here because we're going to leave the net down here through this. Move this rod to the other side so it's going to be Get line back? Yep. swinging though, aren't you? Oh, I see all the mud got stirred up. I reckon it's a big ray. Go on, bro. Coming in, it's coming in. Coming over your side, Jackie boy. We need to get it back down. Oh, you know, I don't think we're going to be able to. I reckon you got a big stingray. Have a look. Can you get it up off the bottom? You got to keep it up off the bottom. Yeah. Oh, what is that? That's a massive pike eel. Yeah. That is a giant pike eel. All right, bring it down. Look at the size of that thing.
Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. That's huge.
Go, drag it.
She's hooked good.
Keep coming down on this side, bro.
Yep.
And get it straight up there. Swing her out, swing her out, swing her out.
I can't ready.
Oh, bro, that thing's close to 2 meters long. Get it around there. Oh, wow. Dude, that's the biggest pike eel I've ever seen.
She's off.
Oh, no! Oh, bro, that was the biggest. Did you get any of that on camera?
I got pretty much all of that on camera.
Oh man, that was the biggest pike eel I have ever seen in my life. That thing, dead set, was as fat as your arm. That thing was close to nearly 2 meters long. Jesus. What happened? What gave way? The hook didn't fail? Got the hook off?
Yeah.
Oh man! Well, you win some and you lose some.
We got to see it.
We got to see it. That was a monster pike eel. That was, man, that was a giant.
Yeah.
And we got it all on camera.
Yes!
Kicked my ass for a bit.
I'm glad it was a fight worth having. Couple of big do nots. Alright, do not leave your fishing line and your rubbish where you're fishing. Take that stuff home with you. What else would you recommend, big fella?
Obviously know what sort of fish you're going to be handling, and try not to handle them with dry hands too much, because you're actually going to damage the fish here and there. Always wet your hands first, and if you can, use lip grips, because you're going to probably do less damage to the fish.
Also keep in mind too that a lot of fish species have spines and gill spikes, which can do a lot of damage to your hands, as Steve was saying, so it's safer to use lip grips. But also too, a lot of fish are actually venomous. They have venomous spines, especially stonefish. You don't want to get pricked by one of those. Catfish are really bad for injuring you as well, if they've got very, very nasty spines on them. So there's always do and do nots when it comes to those type of things with fish handling. The biggest thing is just make sure you're coming out and you're having a good time. You're here with family or you're here with friends, which pretty much is family to me. And you're just enjoying yourself. A couple of other do nots is don't leave your gear unattended. A couple of reasons. One, people can steal it. But two, it's also under the fisheries regulation that you must, when you're fishing in salt water, that you have to be monitoring your lines. Now, some people will argue that, oh, your rods are 10, 15 metres away from you, but we're actually continually monitoring them. As you can see, they've got bioluminescent 10 lights on them, 10 bells, so we can hear and see if they're going off. As you probably would have seen in an earlier vid, that when we caught that pike eel, Steve actually noticed the rod going before we heard it. And we're down here now manning the bait lines because it's what we want to try and focus on, is try and get a fish up and get some more footage. But probably a couple of other do nots, man. It's probably, look, if you want to bring alcohol and have a drink, you need to check and make sure that's perfectly legal to be doing that. Again, don't leave your glass and your empty bottles laying around. Don't go smashing bottles like an idiot. Families need to come down here with their kids, and the last thing we want is some kid being on the news because he's cut his foot open because some muppet smashed a bottle.
Yep. And I was down the jetty just down from here the other day. There was hooks left all over the jetty. Obviously I was with my little 1.5-year-old. She could have easily picked one up, got it in her fingers or anything like that, put it in her mouth. That would have been a pretty bad trip to the hospital. So make sure you pick all your hooks up as well.
And probably another big thing is too, like, respect the fish. Like, I get it, if you want to catch a fish and you want to take it home and eat it, that's cool, you know, that's fine, go right ahead and do that. Like, a lot of people do that. We like fish, we keep fish as pets, but a lot of the fish we catch we don't eat. We go to the seafood shop and buy it.
Yep.
If you want to take it home, you're more than welcome to, but just dispatch the fish humanely. Don't leave it sitting there gasping for
around,
air,
yeah.
flapping around. Dispose of it straight away, fillet it straight away, do what you need to do with the fish and put it out of its misery. And if you are catching a lot of pest fish that are annoying you because they're stealing your bait, like porcupine pufferfish or toadfish, don't be cruel, just put them back in the water. Like, they have a right to live too. Everyone has the right to enjoy them, whether you find them a pest or not.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as big as your one, it's only a little one. But let's see if we can put the body down there. Oh, yeah, that works. You! Yes! Swallowed me bloody hook. This one's bait.
Yep, she's bleeding, mate. So
She's
bait.
She's bait good.
No, I didn't put
Just
one
chuck me the net, bro. I'll pin it with the net. Oh, that'll work. Just wet it for me. Yeah, we've got a glove. How far down is that? That is pretty far down though. I'm going to get a close up of those nasty teeth. See the centralised line of teeth at the top and the bottom canines for grabbing. You wouldn't want one of these to grab a hold of you. The pressure per square inch in a bite of one of these is pretty phenomenal, and it will result in stitches. Now unfortunately this guy, which has been eating all our bait, is bleeding pretty badly, so we're going to dispatch him and we're going to use him for bait. But this is a pike eel, and unfortunately the one that Steve caught just before, we didn't actually get to land it. It was probably the biggest one I've ever seen in my life. It would have been close to 2 meters and as thick as Steve's bicep, so
Pretty
oh,
big.
Second one for the night. Alright Steve, dispatch it. Yep, don't get me in the finger whatever you do. Right in behind here too. There we go. Now can you get my hook back please?
I'll try, mate.
So yeah, that's the best way of doing it. You brain spike them in the central nervous system up there where the brain is. I mean, they will twitch a bit, but it's pretty much lights out. Now we were going to release this fella, but unfortunately, as you can probably tell by the graphic images there of all the blood, it's damaged his gills, so he was bleeding pretty badly. So if we had to let this one go, it would have drowned and died. So yeah, we're going to use him for bait. All yours, Steve-o. I do recommend that you be careful in case he is still ick bin snappy.
This isn't the sharpest knife, I haven't sharpened it. And that there is its stomach. And trying to cut this left-handed isn't the easiest. But that there is one nice bait. And pike eel is very good bait for sharks, especially bull sharks, which hopefully we'll get one.
So under the fisheries regulation in the state of Queensland, you are allowed to catch sharks under 1.5 metres in length. However, they can't be a protected species in order for you to take them under the recreational limits. So that includes scalloped hammerheads, great hammerheads, grey nurse shark, tiger shark, and a couple of others. So if you catch those, they've got to be immediately released. Stuff like wobbegongs, brown banded bamboo sharks, black tip reef sharks, white tip reef sharks, bull sharks, nervous whaler, list goes on. If they're under 1.5 metres in length, you're allowed to take one per person, alive, dead, or parts thereof in your possession, which means if you catch it and you fillet it, you've now got parts of a dead shark in your possession. If you catch another shark, you can't take it, you must release it. So I checked with fisheries on this. I caught a brown banded bamboo shark. It was a female, it was under 1.5 metres in length. Provided I'm the end user of that animal, meaning that it stays with me, I was allowed to take it. So I took it, but I didn't eat it. I put it in my aquarium. Now, I am not allowed to sell it or give it away. It has to stay with me as the end user. So if I don't want that animal anymore, I have to either donate it to SeaWorld Aquarium or donate it to a friend of mine. That's it. I can't sell it. I'm allowed to swap it or trade it for anything. I'm the end user. So tonight, unfortunately, if I I catch a shark tonight, because I've got one in my possession at home, and it's the same species, I have to release it. So, oh well, it's fun of catching it, I guess. I'm gonna keep it anyway.